Okay, we're on the home stretch for this week. We want to apply what we've discussed here in a project. I'd like you to write some XML. You actually won't write any Java code, but you will write some XML code this week. And you'll apply it in the context of a linear layout. We'll talk about linear layout in just a second. Pretty straightforward, but basically it's a layout that arranges its children in a single column or a single row. So you've got elements that are laid out in columns along, horizontally, or they're laid out in rows vertically. Columns horizontal, rows vertical. You know that, and you know linear layouts. There's developer documentation here, our online textbook, and it's linked right in your notes. I strongly recommend you take a look at it. A quick word about the notes. Oftentimes, this technical material that Google puts out freely available is meant to appeal to as wide an audience as possible. It often contains some advanced topics. It's not necessarily the case here, but just in general, if you see something in there and it seems pretty deep, it's okay. This is the main documentation repository for all of Android. So there's going to be basic material as well as advanced material. This material we're looking at this week is pretty basic. We're going to look at linear layouts and UI layouts in general. What I'd like you to do, you see the link here at androidsourcecode.com. This is actually not a Google site, but the material is taken from a Google site. It used to be on developer.android.com. I want you to work through step by step, it's by the numbers, this linear layout tutorial. Hello, linear layout. What you'll note, you can see it's a couple years old. It's got some older versions in it. It is still equally applicable today. Linear layout has not changed much, if at all, over the years. So subject to, for example, I think it refers to API 1.6. We're way beyond that. I'd like you to use, depending on what you installed, probably Android version 4.4 or API 19 would be okay. 4.3, API 18. Either of those will be fine. And there's others you can use as well if you feel comfortable with that. So go ahead and do it. Do the tutorial. And what I'd like you to do, you're going to submit for a grade. You're going to submit something in writing. I'd like you to include XML code fragments and screen captures as appropriate. Something on the order, a minimum of 200 to 300 words. That's really not much at all. You're going to see in the tutorial 3 linear layouts are used. I'd like you to show me how these are related. And then I've got some questions for you. What happens if the orientation of one of the linear layouts is changed from horizontal to vertical, for example? And there's a couple other questions. The very, very best thing you can do is work through the tutorial. You'll have a working app. A very simple app, doesn't do much, but you'll see. The very, very best thing you can do when you create this app, the main work is creating and editing an XML layout file. And you'll have elements and attributes. Once you complete the tutorial, the very best thing you can do is to try different things. Try different settings, try different orientations, try different attributes. You'll probably break some things along the way. That's okay. Actually, I believe that's a really good way to learn. You stub your toe now and again. It's a really excellent way to learn. So that's really the best thing you can do. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second. So just so we're clear, this is due in writing for a grade. It's due in class on Monday, next Monday. So it's due in class, and it's just a couple hundred words. So you have a couple assignments due next week in class. I'd also like you to be prepared to demo your project in class. If you have a partner, if you've done that yet, work with your partner. If you don't have a partner yet, no worries. You can do this one on your own. And again, you're sort of just following the steps in the tutorial. When we meet next, we'll talk more about partners, because I really do want you to work with a partner. You will learn from each other. So here is actually your project. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to so this is a linear layout tutorial. In the tutorial, you're going to see 3 linear layouts and 8 text views. Now, the linear layouts, 2 of them, actually they're all 3 visible, but one is apparent. One of the linear, so 3 linear layouts. One is apparent with 2 nested linear layouts. So it's a parent linear layout with 2 linear layouts inside. Take a look at the top portion of this app, where you've got these bars: red, green, blue, yellow. This is a linear layout with horizontal stacking. Remember what we said about a linear layout. What is it? The elements are laid out horizontally in columns or vertically in rows. So horizontally in columns, here at the top, you've got 4 text view objects, and the text view color has been set red, green, blue, yellow, and it gives you the it creates these bars. You'll see exactly how this is done, and you'll see this. But what do you think is going on? Notice how these bars extend and fill their parent. Maybe I just gave it away right there. But how do you suppose these Android layout height and widths are set in this top linear layout? In the bottom, you've got this vertical stacking. We haven't applied any color, just some text. And notice what we've got here: row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. This is 4 text view objects with the Android text attribute of the text view object set to a string, which refers to row 1, a string which refers to row 2, row 3, row 4. So 8 text view objects, 3 linear layouts. There's a parent linear layout. Inside the parent, there's 2 linear layouts with different orientations. You'll see this in the tutorial. It's step by step. This is just sort of giving you sort of a pre-briefing. Now, here is a little bit more, just a little bit more information on linear layout. So, again, this is just for your reference. I think you've probably got it by now, but a layout that arranges its children in a single column or a row. Arranges elements side by side, either horizontally or vertically. Orientation, and so this is very important. The orientation of this, orientation equals vertical, orientation equals horizontal. What is this? This is an attribute for the linear layout element. These are attributes for the linear layout element. Remember what we said about attributes? They go inside the starting XML tag. You'll see there's other important layout attributes for this project. You'll see how this wrap content and fill parent for either the layout width or the layout height, you'll see these a small change can have a big effect in your UI. And again, I strongly recommend work through the tutorial, and you'll get through that. Work through the tutorial, but then once you're comfortable with the step-by-step material, the real, the great learning goes on when you start to experiment on your own.